Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the lab for another lantern project. Well, here we have another one of the the finds from the Rusty Lantern Finds. Go down in the description, you'll see a link to that. So I'm kind of methodically going through all the ones. I just kind of wanted to do like a little cluster of all these right after finding them all. So just to kind of tie all the cluster videos together for those who watch frequently. You know, it's kind of like part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of deal. Well, we got here is Dietz Blizzard. This is a streamline blizzard, which the streamline started in 1937. And this one, I believe, it's still quite rusty. I took a look. I think it's a 39. I think this is a 39. We'll check when we get to that point. But yeah, this is one of the rusty bunch. And this one's in pretty darn good shape. Oh, look at that. Bummer. Oh, well, I got more, I think. Yeah, here we go. There you have it. There it is. That is a blizzard. Yep. So, that's coming out like that. That looks a little bent over. Looks like it probably got hit with something. Okay, so let's see what we're dealing with here. I think this is going to be pretty darn nice. Oh yeah, look at that's a 39. It's got the pass-through bail there. That's interesting. Okay. So there's some models of the streamline models that just have a hook in here and some of them pass through. And maybe it has something to do with the year. I do believe there's Dietz Monarchs that there's also one particular batch or year or two that has the pass through. Might have been just maybe that 1 year. Maybe they only did it in 39. Huh. Well, I'll have to keep that in my brain and try to figure that out. So I know I can't get that bail out. That would just be really silly for me to have to hack that off to do that. All right, let's dig into it. All right, so let's get that sadly cracked globe out of there. Okay, well, it actually hasn't gone all the way through. That's good. I'm sure heating this would immediately advance that crack. But I'm going to try to clean it, and I'll put it aside for a display. Something on display. That should not be a problem. But I have more of these. I got a bunch of these that are unmarked. If you need you need a tall cold blast globe. I got a bunch of them unmarked, not with the wing locks. I mean the lock knobs. The wing locks are what are right here on this burner. That right there, that's a wing lock. I think it's an impractical value. So again, I got the brush out. I'm just kind of sampling and looking at what's going on here. I see that's moving, so that's good. That's awesome. Oh man, that's so great that those came out. I didn't have to. I really hate having to. Work at getting burners out because it damages things along the way. And when I say damage, to me, it's tool marks. I freaking hate it. Interesting wick. I rarely see them with the red edges like that. That'll be just fine. Nothing wrong with that. It's got plenty of meat in it. When I flick it like this, like I say, and one, I'm getting dust out, and two, I'm kind of listening and feeling for like how dense it is. So if it's like really chewed up and old and decaying, it will feel lighter and thinner and weaker. Okay, that'll be just fine. This will be just fine. This is the brass brush. Brass is a softer metal, so it's less evasive and less likely to gouge it, scratch it. But even if I am putting little micro scratches in it, we're going to remove them all with what we're doing to this thing. So no problem. This is a little chewed up. Just a little, couple spots. Which is good considering this is staying on here. I'm not. In my old videos, I used to immediately take off the globe plate. I would just unmove these all around and get it off of there. Purely because I don't like the way they look when I put them back on, these things, because I don't have the perfect factory tool that flattens out them tabs real nice while holding on to the bottom of it. It's kind of hard to explain, but I have no tool, nor do I know of any tool that would reproduce that same action and bring those folds down flat on top of the globe plate. Because if they're not flat, then the edge of the globe hits it and it doesn't fit right. So I'm just checking this out. This should clean up all right. And I used to take these off too. I used to take the crowns off to clean them up and everything. So if there's no issue with the posts, and there's no dent in the crown, I'm gonna leave it on there. Another reason I'm sampling like this, because my bench grinder likes to turn, any dust, any rust, dust, or any of that stuff, it kind of turns it into an airborne particulate that coats everything here. Coats all my lanterns and it migrates around the house and everything. I don't like it. I don't like it. And true that today is window worthy. I could open windows and let the dust go out that way. But I haven't located this. I took the screens out of them. Oh, by the way, yeah, here it is, 7th of March. This is when I'm recording this part of this video. And it was 71 degrees today. And it was like in the teens like last week. And snowing and all that shit. So it was a welcome day to go outside and check out my antenna farm, make sure that the winter didn't destroy any of them. And I had to retighten a couple things and restring. And but other than that, the antenna farm amazingly survived a number of very windy, shitty storms during the winter wind storms. There was a lot of limbs. I spent, a good hour out in the yard picking up limbs and shit. Some big, some small. One was too heavy for me to even throw with a fence, so I'm gonna have to get help to get that out of there. But it was a good day. Good, warm day. Have windows open. Get some fresh air in here. But like I said, a couple of the windows, especially the ones here in the lab, I took the screens out, and I don't know where I put them. I'll find them. They couldn't have gone far. All right. So yeah, see this pile here? That would have all gone airborne. And, You turn something into, you know, particulate like that and fling it around. That's enough to coat a couple rooms worth. You know what I mean? Okay. Yeah, this will clean up great. Let me just give this a little. Oh, crap! This at a garage sale the other day. I want to see if that helps for this kind of thing. So these teeth are look to be a hardened plastic, so I won't really mark it up. Yeah, it worked. It's worth the quarter I think I spent for it. That's the only reason I got it, is for things like this, really, and stuff. Excellent. Let's take a look at the fount. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Can I make it wide angle? Let's do wide angle. Okay. Let's see. Very cool. So yeah, there. Wow. Wow. Yeah, looks awesome. Looks awesome in there. So that's looking awesome there. That looks fine. That looks fine. And maybe I'll try to bend that back a little bit there with my little tool idea. So I am off to the bench grinder to get this started here. Yeah, this is very nice. I want to confirm that date just because I like to give me something to think about while I'm on the wheel using it. The grinding wheel. It looks like 39. Yeah, that's 39. Okay, I can't really see the month. Well, we'll see it. We'll see it when we get more of this stuff off there, for sure. We'll be able to read the shit out of it. Okay, I'll be back after I do some bench grinder action. I'll be back. Okay, so we are back from the bench grinder, and I would say things are pretty improved. Yeah, looking good here. So yeah, I can confirm that is 39 S2 39. Okay. Oh yeah, that cleaned up real nice. And we'll get it better with the nylon bed. Oh, yeah, we'll get it cleaned up. The only rough spot really is some of this globe plate here. That's really it. Just a little bit here, but we're gonna clean all that up. So I think what we're gonna do now is put a jump bit on there. By the way, folks, it's literally been like, I feel like it's been 6 months since I had short sleeves on. Really a bummer, man. This winter was a bummer for me. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. I think I have a new sensitivity to cold since a massive weight loss. And I guess getting older too. I mean, that's why all old people go to Florida, right? They're sick of the cold. And yeah, you go to any part of Florida, you're gonna find somebody from Western New York in any crowd, for sure. But yeah, my sensitivity to cold, I'm just miserable when it's cold. I would have been in here doing a lot more stuff if it wasn't just so damn cold in my house all the time. It sucked. So, I mean, this is a little break. Next 4 days here are supposed to be 50s or 60s, and then we're back at winter because it is March, you know. March in Western New York, man. You never know what you're going to get. All right, so we're going to start junk bit here and go in these areas that the bench grinder couldn't get. And we'll take it from there. So this is where we'll start. All right, junk bit. Okay, looking good after our junk bit work. But there is an issue with these the Dietz streamline, and you're looking at it right now, and it's all these Art Deco-y, you know, designs. I mean, of course, it's also there for stability and everything like that. It does have its structural. But there's all these little corners here to catch rust and dirt and everything. Things that I couldn't get with the large wheel there and this wheel. So there's no corners. There's no corners on either of these. So now we're going to put the wheel on there, which can get in corners through all my seams and things, and around behind, things like that. And yeah, so that's why I start with the junk bit. So we start with the biggest thing, which there would have been paint removal, would have been step 1. Step 2 would have been, you know, little wire wheeling, looking around. Step 3 would be that. Step 4 would be junk bit. Step 5 would be wire wheel. And, well, step 6 could be any number of grits and other little bits there to get at other areas. And then steel wool there. And then we would, after that, we'd reassemble and we'd oil it up. Well, that's basically for something that doesn't need repairs. This looks like it needs no repairs whatsoever. And of course, I say that now, we'll find something. But I do not think so. I think this is all ready to go. You saw the inside of the tank. It looks great. So, yeah, okay. Let's continue. Did I even record any of that? So, yeah, let's continue with the wire wheel. Let's do that now. And I'm putting a little bit of length here on it in case I need to get around in behind something. We should be all right though. All right, so wire wheel time. So we did our wheel. Now we are at the mercy of our next size, which is pointy bit. Oh man, maybe it's time. Right now, Lee Zeldin and the APA, they're getting rid of all. Oh, okay, there might be enough meat on this one. So I tend to use things till there's really nothing left. I'll show you. I mean, if you got, you know, a puddle. Here's a couple of examples. It becomes a wetland under, you know, the old regs. So here's what a new one looks like. You see why they call them broom bits. And this is after they get worn down pretty good. But what you can see, that the point is good. So when this gets down to a point, it kind of morphs itself into a different type of tool. So for this, I'm not necessarily going to need this wide bit. It does not stay like that for long either. So you're halfway to one of these by the time you finish the lantern with it. So I'm going to use this one because I got lots of corners and things. Now that broom bit, that'll get in the corners and stuff, but it's just I'm not going to waste its particular state right there on this. Not going to need it. Not going to need it. So, all right, let's go with a pointy bit. And again, I'm giving it a little bit of length in case I need to get past something. All right, here we go. Let's go with a pointy bit. Now we're going to go to an 800 grit and do our next step here. Going to 800 grit the whole thing, and I'll work on these wires. Maybe I'll go to a bigger grit like a 400 or 320 or something like that, because this is a little bit of chewage here, so I might up it to a red or a green or a black nylon bit. All right, here we go, starting with 800 grit. Now, let's do some steel wooling. By the way, if you go back to the my video about the tools that I use, I had found this steel wool that was marketed as a deterrent for mice and rodents. Stuff it in holes around your house and stuff, keeps them from chewing. They don't want to chew it. But this is very nicely, tightly wound for 4-0 steel wool that I use. And I've been using this shit from Walmart that it all crumbles and fall apart and everything like that. And this is really holding up well. So I'm going to keep buying this stuff. It comes in the 16 pack. That's all vacuum packed little thing. But yeah, good stuff, man. Now, like I said, it's I did a screen grab of the Amazon ad for it on that video about the tools that I use. So yeah, always got to have your steel wool around. So we'll give this baby a once over with steel wool, and then we will oil it up and look at it and admire it. Yes. Oh, it's been a little while since I've done a streamlined blizzard. I think they're a beautiful lantern. It's just my buying or my looking or my searching for lanterns and things has moved on to older lanterns, kind of, you know, pre-modernization of the, I don't want to say modernization, but streamline, which this is 1937. So I have kind of changed my search for lanterns to ones that are older. I think I'm more fascinated the further you go back in lantern building and making. You know, I just think about, you know, somebody using a soldering iron that's sitting next to them on a table in hot coals, you know, before they had, you know, electric solder. So, and there was even like, you know, there's even like fuel powered soldering irons. But, you know, when you think about it, somebody's got to go around to every table in that factory. God, it must have been hot. You know, with all those smelters and everything. Somebody had to keep those coals going. Had to keep that, every table had to have, you know, a crucible of hot coals going day and night, making lanterns. So these were, you know, streamlined design, which was Art Deco, but also their manufacturing was also streamlined. You know, everything, you know, that was like maybe steam powered, using one gigantic leather belt to run an entire factory floor. You have, you know, electric hammers and electric soldering irons and electric light for crying out loud. Pretty cool. That's why I'm more gravitated towards the older ones now. All right. Now we remove the steel wool dust. Any hunks we might see that got hooked on somewhere. Okay, man, this thing is gonna be loaded with patina. You're gonna see, and we're gonna find it right now. And I can tell by looking at the crown here. You'll see there'll be lots of patina all over this thing. You'll see. It's gonna change its attitude a couple times here in the next couple of minutes, because it's gonna show very strong patina and glare and gloss when we first paint it on, but then when we remove it, you're going to see just that, you know, that it kind of turns into a matte kind of finish. That's the kind of finish I like. I do not like shiny old things. That's dumb. Okay, here we go. Not going to find any potato down here, but I'm still want to treat it because it's a very vulnerable spot. Some people would have been satisfied with it just staying the way it looked a second ago. Maybe some climates you could do that, you know, like Utah or Arizona or something. You can have things that, you know, will not oxidize because of massive humidity. But I'm in the Northeast, humid climate, man. The summers are humid, so I protect my stuff. Alright, so we got it all oiled up and wiped down. Alright, so now we do an assembly. Alright, very nice. We already know what the font looks like. Looks perfect in there. Click. Alright. And I located another lock knob. Here we have it. Here's the one that was in there. Bummer about the cracks. You can see bird crap from a barn. But I'll save that one. I'll save that cracked one. Even though I got a million other ones in this size, I do not have many Dietz towels here. There we go. Something was funky there. Now we're good. Very nice. Okay, here we have it. We are done with this bad boy. And by the way, so the phone that was here a second ago, it just shut off on me while I was wiping it down. I believe it overheated because of these lights. These lights here have old school 100 watters in them, so they throw some heat. And my little thing here, so a little proximity issue, I do believe that is what been causing my phone to shut down numerous times while doing a video. I gotta find LEDs that are, you know, real bright. But I had these, and it's just another cost. So these are working until I can figure out, you know, maybe find some at a estate sale or something like that. Find some bright LED bulbs. Anyway, here we are. Look at this. That's a tall drink of water right here. Beautiful number 2 Blizzard, 1939. Okay, well, folks, that is going to do it. Yeah, look at that globe. Yeah, look at that. That's going to do it here for another Dietz Blizzard. This one being a streamline. And I think I did 1 or 2 of these last summer. Videos will be there. But this might already have a home. I showed it to somebody that is doing some decor. He wants a couple lanterns with red globes. I have a red globe that's unmarked we could put in here. And he's already coming to get a monarch with a red globe in it. And I said, maybe I got this. So that's another reason I worked on it today. So we'll see. I might have a new home already to decorate somebody's fireplace area. All right, folks, that's going to do it for me here in the lab for this video. Hey, and as usual, don't you go change it.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.